Hello everybody and welcome to the RogueTech changelog. Because there was just a change that went in with the latest version that substantially, I believe anyway, substantially changes my opinion on vehicles. Extremely substantially. I've not tried it in-game yet. We'll see how I feel after a mission or two with it. But in this latest version, this is the interesting thing here. Killed players' vehicles are now handled correctly, not always returned to player. That functionally breaks the way we've been treating our vehicle lance. And makes me wonder if it is even worth the weight that is being assigned to it. Because we only have the drop weight, right? We only have the set amount of drop weight, 800 tons, for 3 lances. But one of those lances we can only drop vehicles in. So maybe we're better off not doing things this way. So let me actually switch this off of display capture. That would be handy. Let me switch this back. There we go. And with it back off of display capture, the question now becomes, are we actually going to run vehicles? If they don't get returned to us, vehicles either require a lot of weight in order to be actually effectual, or they'll die very easily. Now, we're currently falling into the die very easily camp. And this is currently over 100 tons that's being dedicated to this. So if these vehicles don't just come back, I'm questioning having them at all. Sure, we could go for heavier vehicles, but we would have to remove weight dedicated to mechs. I get what they're going for with this change, right? It doesn't make a lot of real-world logical sense that vehicles are just instantly returned to you at full health. But from a gameplay mechanics standpoint, that change makes me question whether we want vehicles at all. Period. End of story. Because if we allocate the weight to them for them to be able to output enough damage and for them to be able to survive taking hits, then A, we lose the speed advantage that we currently have. B, we lose a lot of weight allocated to our mech lances. And C, we lose the evasive, which is our primary form of defense. Now, if we upped the weight of these, it would switch over to armor being the primary defense. But vehicles can't be vigilanced. So surely that armor would be better on a mech. That's what I'm currently thinking. We'll see how my views on this evolve. But for right now, what I'm thinking is, when we lose these vehicles, note that I said when, not if, when we lose these vehicles, maybe we simply don't replace them. And maybe we just run 800-ton assault mechs, or, you know, some variants probably, but we dedicate our tonnage to mechs. Because I feel like mechs just have too many advantages in terms of gameplay mechanics for vehicles to not be returned to us. That opinion may change, but that is my current feeling. Let's go ahead and deploy, and let's see what the frequency of those vehicles not being returned to us is. Because that's going to have an effect on the landscape too. Let's do something fairly difficult like this, because I want specifically to have vehicles get destroyed. Not mechs, but vehicles. So we'll run this, and we'll run it right here, grab ourselves some sweet, sweet cash. We'll deploy everything as is, and let's just get out there. And yeah, these have to be vehicles, right? These slots are dedicated to vehicles. You cannot put a mech here. Like, if we were to take the Harasser out of here and try to put the Centurion in, mech cannot be placed to vehicle slot. So I'm currently leaning towards just not having vehicles and dedicating, what is this? This is 145 tons that we're dedicating to vehicles right now. I'm thinking about just rededicating that tonnage into our Juggernaut Lance and into our Cavalry Lance. Bulking those up to 100 tonners. That's what I'm leaning towards. I don't like it. But that is my current thinking on that. Like I said, I get where they're coming from on making it work this way. That's how it would work in reality. I get it. But from a gameplay mechanics standpoint, I feel like that ends up completely removing every benefit that having vehicles would have. The only way around that, in my opinion, and like I said, I haven't played with this yet, but just my gut instinct on that, the only way around that is that tonnage has to be dedicated to things like artillery vehicles that can be kept super safe. Or more specifically, that just won't get blown up every mission, right? Like, the way we're treating our vehicle lance right now is we do blow them up every single mission. And kind of deliberately. They're bait. But we'd need to start treating them more like we treat our mechs. At which point, the question becomes, what are the advantages that vehicles have over mechs? Well, they don't generate heat. That's one. What other advantages do they have? I'm not coming up with anything. You can't adjust what they have equipped. You can't adjust their armor levels. So you can't vigilance them. I believe they don't even take brace bonuses, although I could be wrong about that. So yeah, you'd essentially have to get like fire support vehicles rather than having them be like we are right now, which we're using them as like scouts and cavalry vehicles. We have allies, okay. And this is a terrible place for us to drop. Absolutely dreadful. The enemies are up over here somewhere. I wouldn't mind dropping here. Let's do it. So yeah, I don't necessarily like that change. I get it.
Like a nice place to settle down.
It makes some sense. Yeah, the way we were using our vehicles is probably not the way that we're intended to use them. But that is a logical conclusion of the way the game mechanics work. And I feel like if we go down this road that the RogueTech developers are doing with vehicles, I feel like it will make vehicles largely useless when you can put a mech into that same role. The only thing is the heat differential, right? As far as I'm concerned, that is the only advantage that vehicles currently have.
I'm walking here.
We'll see what my feeling is like in a bit, after we know just how much they actually don't get recovered. But I'm expecting us to hit that pretty quickly with the vehicles that we have, because we run very light vehicles that will get blown up very, very quickly. And very thoroughly, in fact. Now, we can't seem to make our way down this embankment with our hovercraft. I'm not a huge fan of that. We do see that there's this mech up here. Can we make our way around, perhaps? I'm not sure where our hovercraft can actually go. And this is actually another benefit, by the way, of having mechs as opposed to vehicles. Mechs can navigate all this stuff. Vehicles can't. Yeah, vehicles can move a little faster, but even so. We'll take our vehicles around this way, I guess. We'll take the Maxim over here, though, because it can navigate this as a wheeled vehicle. Okay, our Jaeger is going to make his way out over this way. We can't get LOS, it looks like. However, we do see enemy reinforcements over there. That's a Kraken, a Griffin, and a Hunchback. Sure. Okay, our Archer is going to step up over here, and I would like to start shredding some armor on this Kraken, perhaps. But what are our hit odds over here? 4.7? Yeah, they're actually a little bit better. We'll do some armor shred over this way. We're not going to get much. Sounds good.
Yeah?
Okay, this guillotine is going to sprint up over to here, looks like.
Copy that.
Okay, and we're going to do a tiny amount of armor shred here.
I'm taking this shot.
Nope, we're not going to do any armor shred. Okay, that's fine.
Targeting system's janky. Waiting for orders.
Okay, the stone rhino is also going to pop up over here.
There.
What are our MRM hit chances? Not worth firing the MRM.
Engaging target.
Okay, that's fine.
I missed.
Yes, you did. Okay, phase 21. Somebody out here, most likely. Okay, a PPC on the Nidhogg. Not a concern. Next up, our J. Edgar is going to see if it can make its way up here. Yeah, nope. Terrain is too rough for the hovercraft. Okay. And I don't believe there's a way down for them over here, so I believe the hovercraft just simply cannot do anything.
No shooting,
Okay.
just running.
Once again, that's another advantage to putting that tonnage to max, is you don't have that happening. Our hovercraft have had several times where they have not been able to do that. So we're going to go ahead and drop our Arrow 4s on this Griffin. Am I going to Warlord this? I'm going to Warlord this. There we go.
Confirm. Firing.
Yeah, good splash damage. That is a thumper, but it's firing on the Kraken, which I don't necessarily approve of. I would have preferred that they fire the artillery over here, but armor shred on the Kraken is okay, I guess. The Nidhogg is going to make its way up, and we're going to position here, I guess, and we can do additional armor shred on the front arc here. I mean, it's not great to armor shred a front arc on an Atlas, but
Got it.
what else are we going to do, right? There we go.
I'm here.
So yeah, the Harasser is also in a position here where it can't navigate this terrain, which, you know, is obnoxious. We'll just move it over here for now.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm definitely currently leaning towards the conclusion that we should reallocate this tonnage.
God, I missed.
I was hoping that they would be able to engage our hovercraft this time, though, because I was hoping to see them blow up and see what exactly those changes look like. Again, I haven't experienced these changes. This is just my gut reaction based on the patch notes. The Marauder, I'm actually going to bring up over here.
Roger that.
Yeah, it won't be an LOS, but that's fine. Okay. The Maxim is going to come out here and engage, because it actually can. We'll position it up over here for now. And we'll see what the enemies decide to do. Hunchback steps forward, fires on the Maxim. Okay. Does a little damage. Sure. That's a ballista. Okay. Additional artillery in on that Atlas. Again, I would prefer that they put it on this cluster, but I guess it's okay. Firing on the Nidhogg, but not really getting anything done there. That's fine. Okay. And then the Imp is going to step forward over here. Thought I saw an LOS there. Okay. Not actually. We'll position there. They've got a carrier also firing on the Kraken. Sure, they're putting some heat in there. That's fine. Okay. That's a fair amount of damage into that Sorcerer's flank.
Reporting.
But we're doing okay for now. Okay. And now our Jaeger can step out over here, and I would like an unobscured LOS if we can. Unfortunately, we can't, but what we can do is we can do a lot of damage to this guy, regardless. 67.9%. There we go. So I guess when it comes to the vehicles, I guess what I'm saying is that I don't necessarily disagree with them making it so that vehicles are magically returned to our inventory, right? I don't necessarily disagree with that. What I'm having an issue with is the fact that by removing that, I feel like they're making it so that the vehicles don't have a sufficient reason for their tonnage. I feel like mechs are better usage of the tonnage, is what I'm saying. So, if they're going to have the vehicles act this way, especially if they're going to have separate vehicle slots, which they do, and I'm not opposed to, if they're going to have separate vehicle slots, perhaps there should be separate vehicle tonnage as well. And sure, maybe you can move the maximum amount of tonnage that you get from upgrades. Maybe you can move the mech tonnage to like 600 and then have dedicated vehicle tonnage. That would work. That's a knockdown on that Atlas, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, I really don't feel like there is sufficient reason to bring vehicles if that change... Well, it did go through. But if that change exists, I don't feel that there's sufficient reason to bring vehicles over mechs, given the shared tonnage limit. So I guess I'm going to stop harping on that now. I just wanted to make sure that my thoughts were clear on that situation. I think I'm going to go ahead and Warlord with the Archer here, and we're going to go for head hits on this Atlas. Okay. We'll see what our allies do. Marksman firing on the Atlas. Doing a little bit of armor shred. Okay, they're shooting at the Maxim. Sure. Watch, this time I don't lose any vehicles. But that's mostly because our hovercraft can't actually do anything up here. Okay, so we're going to position the Sorcerer up here, and these guys are relatively spread out. I think we're going to fire on the Hunchback here just because of hit odds. We could do direct fire, and that would boost our hit odds pretty dramatically. I'm going to go for it. Very solid. Thumper moves up, fires on that Atlas, gets another armor shredding hit. Nice.
Yes, Commander.
Our Stone Rhino is going to step up over here. And we are going to light up this Atlas. We'll go ahead and fire the MRMs. Go for head hits if you can.
Taking a shot.
Nice.
That hit something good.
That Atlas is not very happy right now. I don't blame him. And we're going to move the Marauder, I guess, back over here. There we go. And we're going to go for a... We're actually going to go for a kill here. And that's a kill. Excellent. So the Atlas is dead, and now we just need to deal with the reinforcements. Okay, of course, our hovercraft aren't able to engage.
Confirmed.
Just because of the terrain.
How can I help?
And our Victor is going to sprint forward over here to try to get into LOS to engage these lads. And let's see what they do. The Atlas moves up. Shoots at the Nidhogg. Does not hit. Okay. Sounds good to me. Okay. The Maxim is going to close in over this way. We're currently on Inferno ammo, and I kind of don't want to be. I kind of want to be on standard ammo here, and I want to Warlord. Light up this Hunchback right in that weak arc. Okay, that's a knockdown. And we take that. Next up, Lord Dacky in the Imp is going to attempt to move up to try to get some LOS. And let's see what the Hunchback does. It gets up. It's at half armor here. Like, a Hunchy is going to die super quick. Playing at this level. Like, it's not really a threat. Except maybe to a vehicle.
Damage minimal.
Come on, mech warriors.
But realistically, as I've been saying, I don't really know how much we care about vehicles taking damage or even getting destroyed.
Full speed. No target.
Okay, we're going to light up this Kraken since we have better hit odds on it, and we need to armor shred.
Firing on target.
Excellent. Base 24, that is this guy. Ideal for us would be he moves in over here. And he actually kind of did. Fires on the Maxim. Okay. And the Jaeger will step up to the lip here and can light into this Cronus. I like it a lot. Oof. We missed one of those Gauss, but that's really not that surprising. We're going to step over here with the guillotine
Let's move.
and light this guy up in his weak arc. Okay, good armor reduction.
I'm receiving
The Stone Rhino is going to proceed over to here. And we're going to continue to hit this Cronus. Yeah, our hit odds aren't great, but we take them.
that, Commander.
Okay, some armor shred there. Acceptable.
Orders?
Next up is the Archer, which will position here.
Order received.
And I think the Archer is also going to go for the armor shred on the Cronus,
Acknowledged.
since it is, of course, available for hitting. Now that's some armor shred right there.
Ready for order.
Excellent. The Sorcerer is going to position over here, and it is going to be back in indirect mode. And we're going to drop on the Kraken, since it is centrally located.
Locking on target.
That was a very mediocre hit. That was an okay hit there. Not the best I've ever seen, to be sure. Let's see what the Griffin decides to do here. Okay. Goes for the Archer. That's fine. We accept this. Next up is our Dragon Slayer, who can position here and be in a pretty good spot to fire on the Cronus. I'm going to fire the Ultra AC here just because if we hit, we're going to do a truly ludicrous amount of damage. I don't expect that we hit, though.
Firing.
Yeah. Not great there. But it'll do.
Boss.
The Marauder will step forward to here. I'm not super happy with this positioning. We'll go ahead and Warlord. I have a feeling we're going to have some heat issues here. Actually, this is perfectly fine. Light him up. Okay, getting some good crit fishing there.
That hit something good.
And, of course, Jinx and Scrub, they can't do anything. They can't make it down this tiny embankment.
Waiting on you.
So our Imp is going to move up over here and probably kill the Cronus. We're going to go ahead and Warlord. Yeah, we're not going to... Actually, I think we take this overheat. Yeah, we take this. Sadly, both of those large lasers missed.
My heat.
But I guess that's okay.
High.
The Kraken is going to fire on the Nidhogg. Okay. That's fine.
Reporting major armor loss.
The Ballista is also okay.
Commander?
Okay, so the Maxim is going to move into rear arc of the Kraken here. That is the goal. We move in here, and we are going to hit this guy as hard as we can in his weak rear arc. Good. Got a structure exposure.
Critical hit,
It's
Commander.
exactly what we're looking for. Who moves next? That is the Hunchy. He is substantially weakened, of course. We'll see where he decides to move here. Oh. He decided to engage us across the chasm. That is very bold of him.
Yeah.
Like, we objectively have a better position here. Finish this Cronus. Okay, I was hoping that that would actually finish it. Maybe the knockdown causes him to eject? Maybe. Regardless, we do have other targets there if we don't have LOS. However, we absolutely do. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for the Hunchy. We'll armor shred him, splash damage the Cronus, maybe get the kill, and we'll splash damage the Kraken perhaps as well. LOS might be slightly problematic on us for that one, but we're just going to go ahead and give this a go.
Roger.
That was good.
Scored a critical hit.
We'll take that. Unfortunately, we didn't kill the Cronus, but the Hunchback is now heavily damaged as well. The Stone Rhino is going to step up to here, and we're going to go for the hit on the Hunchy here rather than the Cronus, I think. Just because I want to hit the Hunchy. Because it can respond.
Confirmed.
There we go. Now the Hunchy can't respond. Perfect.
That's a kill.
Ready for
Okay,
order.
the Nidhogg is going to close in over this way.
I copy.
And I think the Nidhogg now finishes... Actually, do we go for the Kraken here? I think we go for the Kraken here. Well, that is front arc. No, let's finish off the Cronus.
On target.
There we go. It's very, very dead. That was always going to be overkill, but that's fine.
Hostile removed.
Okay. Next up is the Guillotine, and the Guillotine is going to just sprint over this way and sink some heat. Actually, that wasn't a sprint. My bad. Okay, the Thumper moves up. That's fine.
How can I help?
The Dragon Slayer can actually get some LOS here. We're going to potshot the Griffin with the Snubnose. Okay, nothing there, but that's fine. Marksman moves up, fires on the Kraken. Does get a hit there. Splash damage is our maxim, but that's fine. And then the Griffin is going to move. Of course, the other advantage, in theory, of vehicles is that their armor is freely and cheaply repaired. Or rather, freely and instantly repaired, right? But I'm not sure if they changed that or not. We'll see if they've changed that.
On my way.
If they have, then I'm really on the mech boat rather than the vehicle boat.
Taking the shot.
We'll take the rear arc attack on this Griffin, and that was good damage.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Indeed.
Receiving you.
Our Marauder will also take that rear arc attack. We can only fire the LBX, but honestly, that might kill it. We got an engine crit there, and unless that was through armor, that means that this guy has an XL.
Firing.
Okay, we actually missed. But that's fine. No real concerns there. Jinx, of course, can't move. Or, well, can't move anywhere useful. The Imp can, however, step up to here,
Moving out.
and we can attempt to light this guy up.
Affirmative.
We did not succeed, but that's okay. Ballista moves up, doesn't do anything.
Good to go.
Our Maxim is, at this point, going to absolutely finish this Kraken. Light him up.
Locking in. All weapons.
One dead Atlas. Actually, that's two dead Atlases. Carrier moves up, doesn't do anything. And it is now our turn again. The Sorcerer is going to get a rear arc attack on this Griffin, and this will probably kill the Griffin if it has an XL engine. We didn't quite get what we needed there. It has 1 HP.
Commander.
Okay, that's fine. The Jaeger will go ahead and Warlord and continue to hit that rear arc. That was additional rear arc damage there, but it knocked him down and the damage spread out enough. Okay, that's unfortunate for us.
Yes, Commander.
The Marauder can position actually exactly where it is right now. And we can attempt to light this guy up with the LBX, but honestly, he's got good front armor right now.
Yeah?
It was his rear armor that was problematic for him.
Got it.
Once again, I clicked on sprint, but it didn't actually take there. Interesting.
Waiting for orders.
The Stone Rhino is out of range. So we're going to close in over here.
Full throttle.
And who else can we move?
Commander?
The Archer? Yeah, the Archer's fine. We'll position the Archer here. And I would like to go for head hits on this guy, ideally. We'll go ahead and Warlord. Boost up those odds a bit.
Target acquired.
And that's a kill. Excellent.
One less target.
Okay, so let's get out of here. We didn't actually have any vehicles die in this mission, so we'll have to keep that in mind. I don't think vehicles are going to cost time to repair now, but we'll find out. I mean, the patch notes really didn't indicate that. It just said they're now handled correctly. But we'll see. I'm guessing that's not the case. Because that would really tip the scales towards mechs and away from vehicles. We'll grab these Atlas parts. Oh, we actually got a full Atlas out of that. Very nice. Couple of ER large lasers, we'll keep that. Standard FCS, no thanks. Artemis 4 ammo, yeah, we'll keep that. Excellent. So in theory, the Sorcerer took a little bit of damage, but nothing else really did there. Except for the Nidhogg and the Maxim. They took damage, but I'm not expecting there to be repair time unless they made a change to that, and it's poorly documented. But I don't think that's the case. I think the only change to vehicles was that they can be fully destroyed now. 44k, 7 days. Go ahead and do that Yang. That'll be fine. And yeah, as expected. Sorcerer, Archer, Jaeger. Sure. And that won't actually be 7 days. That'll actually be 5 days. That's perfectly fine. We'll have our mech warriors back by then. No worries. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, I guess we'll see if our vehicles get destroyed then. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.